You're watching Newsday. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, agriculture has at various times been described as a getaway route into progress and empowerment for young people in Nigeria. Those who hold this position say a lot stands to be gained from exploring the manifest and intrinsic benefits of agriculture instead of a current rush by the country's most resourceful segment of the population to seek opportunities abroad where very little of them exist. To this end, a call has been made for government to provide the needed incentives in the agriculture sector. Naseer Suleiman Chamber is President, United Nigerian Youth Congress. He joins us now from Abuja to have a quick chat. Good to have you on Newsday. Thank you for joining us.
All right, thank you very much. Good morning, Nigerians, or good afternoon, Nigerians.
All right, let's kick off this conversation with your assessment of the Nigerian youth participation in agriculture.
All right, first of all, let me begin by saying the recent event that happened in our country is a clarion call to our leaders. It is a clarion call to everyone who is in the belief or who believe in the affairs of our country today. We know what happened, and everyone is aware of what happened, and it is time for all of us, for every hands on the desk. It is time for every Nigerian to contribute towards the development of our country, and it is also time for our government to give the youth the greatest opportunity they need in order to drive our country forward, and so that everyone can progress. And similar issues should not happen again in the future. So this is why in the United Nigerian Youth Congress, we are not just a group that criticize, but also a group that always call the government or bring about solutions, certain solutions that we think are the best interest of our country. And that is why we came up with a proposal of the fuel subsidy has been removed. So why not the federal government to rechannel the subsidy to agricultural subsidy? And we have wrote a letter to the president on our initiative, on our ideas, on how we can all come up together and give millions of Nigerians jobs, and then, of course, to eradicate hunger in our societies. Of the recent event that happened, if we can look critically on it, it's not just in the issue of subsidy. It is more in the issue of hunger, in the issue of lack of jobs for our youth. So if the government will think critically and deep, if the government, Mr. President, well, I agree with what the President says, that we need to, everyone should come and bring solutions so that we can, take the country forward. So this agricultural subsidy that we initiated is an agricultural subsidy that will, give all the 6 geopolitical zones that we have in our country the demands or the needs, whatever they need in the part of agriculture. In the northeast, in the northwest, in the north-south, we all know the kind of crops, the kind of grains that grows around that area. So it is a demand to the government that, look, this is our ideas. Give us the necessary support. Accept this proposal, a proposal that will see at least, let's say, 10,000 hectares of arable land. Give us the security and let the sons and daughters of our country feed our nation.
Which is why,
last 2 years...
If I may come in here, which is why I asked you the initial question of what your assessment is of Nigerian youth, the average Nigerian youth participation in agriculture.
You see, first of all, there is total lack of orientation. Secondly, there is lack of the availability and means. And that is where the government should chip in. You see, of last 2 years, I think if I'm stand to be corrected, the analysis made across our country of the arable land that we have, we are only using less than 2% of the arable land that we have in our country today. So just imagine today in our country, we use 30% of the arable lands that we have. There would have been no issue of hunger in our country, and then our youths are very talented and initiative. So our youths will have the opportunity they need in order to be part in the agricultural process. But now you don't have the land. First of all, the government, most of government policies are not reaching to the people. We know that. In the past administration, we have seen a project called Anko Boroa. But I'll assure you that more than 90% of those who receive those initiatives or those incentives from government are not even farmers. So this is why we, as an organization, try to chip in so that, look, let us first bring the proposal, and then let us make that proposal go to the right people and, the targeted people. So if the government will look into this consideration, our youth will definitely come in, and we'll all participate, in the Operation Feed the Nation, because this is the motto of the project that we, recently sent a letter to the president, and we hope the president will look into it and accept it.
So looking at some of the things you've listed out, saying that you want the president to provide land and some incentives to help youth go into agriculture, do you think that this is all that is needed to propel or to encourage youth to go into agriculture? Is there that willingness for the Nigerian youth? Are they willing to go into agriculture?
Nigerian youth are very talented. Nigerian youth are very hardworking people. All what they need is someone who will encourage them and someone who will give them the opportunities they need. Now, if you don't have a land to farm, where will you even start from? Now, if you don't have at least money to even start to buy the crop that you'll use in farming, where will you start? If you don't have the fertilizer, where will you start? So this is why this initiative, let us bring all our hands on desk together so that we can promote our country and ease the tension on government. You see, government cannot provide jobs, but it is the duty of government to give the people the level playing ground so that everyone, can give his own contributions. Most of the government policies are not reaching to the people. This is where I'm always questioning the government. Look, in paper, most of the projects or most of the initiatives by government in paper are very fantastic. But unfortunately, most of those projects or those, ideas are not reaching to the targeted people.
Okay, so this your proposal. Different. Sorry to butt in again. So this proposal that you are giving to the federal government, how do you suggest that it reaches out to the people? Because if you say that the other policies that the federal government has been putting in place have not been reaching out to the people, what would be different? What makes your proposal different? How would it reach the people?
All right. You see, first of all, we are patriotic Nigerians, and Nigerians who have the interests of our country, irrespective, of background, religion, or ethnic groups. We are a coalition of young patriotic Nigerians with structures in the whole 36 states and all the 774 local governments across our country. So this proposal, if given to us, we will use our structure in all those levels. There wouldn't be any middleman again, because it will be directly from us to the people, because we are the common people. We know the problems of our country. We know what our people are talking about every day. We reach to the people. So we'll use our members, that we have thousands of members across the country. We'll use our members, of course, and give, the project will go directly to the grassroots, because we will use the structure in all the local government and even to the ward levels. So, but you see, most of the policies, for the government, you'll see that it is more from a minister to one or two people, and that will be the end of the project. But this one, we have members and structure in all the 36, of course, so we can use those our people, those concerned Nigerians who are, trying every day to contribute towards the development of our country. So if given to us, we'll use our structure and we will make that project to be very visible and to be realistic. And
can you tell us some of the plans you have in place to ensure that this is monitored, properly, so that it doesn't? It's not a case of some people getting connected or getting the benefits because they are connected to those at the helm of affairs.
All right, most of when it comes to, being connected or, people who want, to be part of it is mostly because there is no good intention in that very specific, proposal. So of recent days, we had a meeting with one of a mediator between us, the youth, and the government. So we said we are not just an organization to talk. but this is a solution that we think is the best interest of our country. And he accepted it, and he said it is a very good initiative, and he will take it to the government. So the assurance I will give to Nigerians is Nigerians who knows us knows what we've been doing for over 13 years in our country today. So the most important thing is let that our initiative be accepted. And I will guarantee you that that project, that it will be a turning point in the history of our country.
I wish we
will make sure, as far as we are the ones leading our country.
Yeah, I wish we could get a copy of that proposal, because I would like to see how you intend to tackle some challenges that are prevalent in the agricultural sector of the country. For instance, the issue with mechanization. We still do subsistence farming. There are issues with fertilizer and inputs that farmers are not getting. I would like to know how you intend to tackle those challenges.
All right, I think after the program, I will give someone to give you the proposed document, and you'll be very interested in it. You see, I am an architect by profession, and I've been in designs of farmlands and see how countries who have made progress around the globe. So my initiative will be on the designing project of how the site will even be. First of all, we will have a fertilizing plant in the proposal. Secondly, we will have a storage. Thirdly, we'll have all different kind of, modern equipment of planting, of, farming. So all this, if you look at it, you will definitely look at the project first. And maybe you'll understand most of what I'm discussing about today. It will not be a project whereby you'll give someone money. It is not money that people need. What they need, give them, all that required on that very project. If the people can get that, and that will be the end of hunger in our country. You see, the world is now globalized. And, I told you from the beginning, it is a clarion call to our leaders. And then it is a time for us to all give our own contributions. Now, what happened in Mali, in Burkina Faso, in Niger, or what is happening in, United Kingdom or Bangladesh, you see, the world is connected now. So anything that happens is more of, if you have youths who are not employed, if you have youths who have initiative but are not given the opportunity, and that is when you will see protests of this nature that we have. What we are trying to change, firstly, is patriotism. Let Nigerians understand the importance of each and every one of us and how we can contribute. Let the government understand that, look, most of their policies are not going to the people. Listen to this project. Mr. President, listen to this our proposal, and give the Nigerians the opportunity, and let us have the greatest chance to save our country. The motto of the program is Operation Feed the Nation, and I will give it after this. I'm sure you will go through it, and maybe
it sounds very familiar. Operation Feed the Nation, a very familiar, acronym, or should I say tagline there. But I would like to know if there's a form of training plan to, train these youths, especially in your agricultural program, and also what is your target, the number of people you're planning to bring into this program, and what are the criteria to select them?
All right. During the era of the former President Olusegun Obasanjo, there was something similar with this name, Operation Feed the Nation. But this one that we are initiating is, in a different form. Before we even go, I think in the last 4 months, we had this initiative, or even last year, I think December. That was when we tried, to start even bringing out the proposal. First of all, we had to make, we have to look for those who have the ideas, and also to check and collaborate with people with great knowledge on it. Like there are many professors on this, main program. Many professors, many agricultural experts. So there will definitely be a training program. There will be, a training site. There will be, the knowledge will definitely be passed, to those young people who have the idea, or those people who want this project to continue. The whole idea is the greatest challenge in our country is hunger. If there is no hunger in our country today, trust me, the issue of protest wouldn't have happened. So this is a time that government will think, what is the root cause of these major problems? Of course, it's the issue of hunger. There is insecurity in our country. In this proposal, we will have a site that we want government to man their security operatives there. Give us the land, give us the finances or make the necessary arrangement in that areas, and we'll execute that program. We'll sit and discuss with the government on how the program will come to a reality.
All right, you've not talked about the criteria you plan to use to select the youth, but I guess we'll just leave the conversation there. Thank you so much.
Okay, the criteria. Okay, I understand.
Yeah, go ahead,
okay,
please.
Sorry, please. It must have skipped my mind. The criteria. All right, the criteria we use is, first of all, bringing the youth together first. Secondly, who are those interested in agriculture, which I believe that majority of our youth are interested in that kind of project. So the criteria will definitely be young Nigerians, maybe those who doesn't have work in areas in all the 6 geopolitical zones. For example, bring the Northwest. If we can be able to get land in so place in Northwest, it doesn't have to be in one state alone, but if we have that land in that state, we'll use all the youth.
All right, we'll just have to leave the conversation there. Thank you very much for your time on the show. Naseer Suleiman Chamber, President, United Nigerian Youth Congress.